It's the Score North Twin Show.
It is the Score North Twin Show, where we love cranking up the hot stove. And it's a Reckless Speculation Thursday here, too. So,
Reckless Speculation.
Safe space to speculate on the future of the Minnesota Twins. Presented in part by our friends at Hire a Pro. So there was some hail damage throughout the Twin Cities and beyond this summer. And so if you have an approved claim to get your roof repaired, the folks at Hire a Pro are here to help you make a profit on your hail claim. So roofers kind of hate these guys because they show you everything a roofer can't. They pull back the curtain, the expenses and the profit on that job. Hire a Pro is here to help you make a profit on your hail claim. So if you have an approved roof replacement, give Hire a Pro a call at 651-402-3400. That's 651-402-3400. Or go to the website, hirea.pro. That's hirea.pro. Before we get to a hot stove speculative discussion here about the Twins pitching staff, gentlemen, the weather would have been pretty nice for a World Series. I've been kind of keeping an eye on, we can, if the Twins got further into October, the weather wouldn't be it's raining a little bit, but it's like 55 degrees.
Have you checked the weekend forecast? This weekend is going to be good luck tailgating this weekend if you guys are the high is 34 degrees on
I'm not
Saturday.
tailgating. Press box on Saturday.
I guess
for
it
me.
depends.
Okay, so yeah, I mean today it's 60. It's 60 degrees.
You sure about
You
that?
sure about that?
Sure about that?
So basically, once we get to Saturday, then the World Series games hypothetically would be played under blizzard warning conditions. Is that kind of the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's too bad.
Sorry to burst
I guess
your
if
mojo
games
there.
1 and 2 are here, right? Maybe not so bad.
So games 2, 3, and 4. World Series starts Friday? Is it Friday,
Yep.
Saturday?
Yep.
And
Friday,
so
Saturday.
games 3 and 4, 5, if necessary, would be Monday, high of 35. I was way off. Tuesday, high of 35, and Wednesday, high of 38, with lows in the mid-20s and a 60% chance of snow for game 4. With the world watching, or part of the world.
Do you know what
Small
you
chunk
need?
of the world.
A hot stove. That's what you need.
Yes. Judd holds his phone up to the. What is that?
Can you hear it?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, it sounds like boiling water, to be honest. I don't
It's
know.
a hot. No, I found a fire. I found a hot stove.
Let's go. I'm here for Judd's phone
I'm producing
graphics
on the.
and sound
I'm
effects.
producing on the fly.
Our sound department did cook together a little sound effect. We did
Oh, I
cook
like
together
it.
a
Let's
sound
try.
effect.
Let's try. Let's try
Well,
this.
let's-
one. Do you have it?
I don't have it. I sent it to you. I thought
You're
you
the
had it.
producer. What do you mean?
I don't fire buttons. You
I'm
fire
the only one who was
buttons.
prepared here. I was prepared with
I
my hot
have it.
stove.
I have it, but it's not on my button bar yet.
Okay.
So we'll keep working. We'll keep working the sound effects department here. But here's the journey that we're going to go on today. So we did the center field discussion earlier this week. Today, let's figure out what the Twins should do for a number 2 starting pitcher. So the segment is called Score North. The Score North Twin Show turns on the hot stove. It's a safe space to explore reckless speculation, ideas, okay? And we're looking to secure a number 2 starting pitcher with Sonny Gray hitting free agency, and he can be one of the options too. I think we're assuming Pablo Lopez is the number 1 starting pitcher in this rotation. If anyone wants to fight that, then we can have that discussion too. So I want to throw 4 different types of options at you guys, and you tell me which 1 or 2 of these are you most intrigued about exploring. Okay.
Okay.
So option number 1 for a number 2 starter is to just re-sign Sonny Gray. He's going to be a free agent at this point. It looks like he wants to keep playing. He's 34 years old in 2024. Projected contract, 3 years, maybe $60 million. So $20 million a year for ages 34, 35, and 36. He's had some durability issues and even some productivity issues at times in his career. But the last 2 years, he's been very reliable. Last year might have been the best or second best season of his career. So re-sign Sonny Gray, ages 34, 35, and 36. That's option 1. Option 2, Declan found a great article about this I think it was from kind of a Cubs perspective too, but Tyler Glasnow is going to be traded this winter, almost certainly. He's the Rays' right-handed number 1 starter when he's healthy. He's 30 years old. He has 1 year, $25 million left on his contract. Major durability issues throughout his career. When he's on the mound and healthy, he is lights out, best strikeout starting pitcher in the league for the better part of the last 5 years. Final year of his contract, so maybe the price comes down. Maybe the price is more reasonable. That's option 2. Option 3 is just ride with one of your internal guys. So Pablo Lopez is number 1, and then you just kind of hope that like a Chris Paddock or a Joe Ryan rises up. Bailey Ober, Louis Varland. There's some maybe other options in there. And then category number 4 is dive into the free agency waters. And I'll give you 5 names under this, and we can explore all these in more detail. Left-handed starter Blake Snell is a free agent. That's going to be a multi-year contract for probably north of $27 million, maybe 30, right? Right-hander Aaron Nola is a free agent, 30 years old. That's going to be $20 million a year, probably a multi-year deal. Left-hander Jordan Montgomery, still pitching in the World Series with the Texas Rangers, 31 years old. That's probably going to be a multi-year contract. Oh, yeah. And then I would say 2 reclamation right-handers that, if they're pitching at their best, definitely one of your top 2 starters. Jack Flaherty, 28 years old, and Lucas Giolito, 29 years old. So re-sign Sonny Gray, trade for Tyler Glasnow, stick with internal options, or dive into the free agency waters. Where's your head at?
All right, so my head is not at door 3 because I get it. They very well might try to make Chris Paddock work as their 2, but if their goals are as high as they should be, I would much prefer to have Paddock be my 3, especially he's coming off his second Tommy John. There's just a lot of unknowns there. Varland, I think, as we've discussed numerous times now, probably deserves to be sat down and said, son, your future might be in the bullpen.
Dude,
like
go
when
dominate.
You come out of the bullpen, you are, and look, bullpen, for years now, there's been nothing wrong with coming out of the bullpen.
We'll get you a theme song.
Yeah,
you can dim
it used
the lights,
to be,
like, dude, whatever you need.
The old failed starter thing is like from my youth. That's not a problem anymore. So, Louis Varland in the bullpen could make a lot of money and have a great career. So I would prefer that you at least give that a look. My top option depends on the price. It's Glasnow. It's Glasnow because Sonny Gray, to your note here, Phil.
Speculation.
And he's been really good, and I appreciate what he's brought. But as your email outlines, these are his age 34, 35, 36 seasons. Like you're pushing things here. 3 years, 60 million. What am I expecting? 2 good years and then a decline in the third. There's just a lot of unknowns, and I do think there's going to be a team, the Braves or the Cardinals, that pay him. Glasnow one intrigues me. My only question is this: what is the price?
I don't think it's Brooks Lee.
It's not Brooks Lee. So here's the thing. He's going to make $25 million. The Rays are going to trade him. They're not going to pay him $25 million. The Rays don't pay anyone $25 million. They don't have a lot of leverage here. When the Twins traded for Sonny Gray, little different circumstance, but Gray was 31 going on 32. They gave up Chase Petty, who was at the time was the Twins' 7th best organizational prospect. So this is what John Boy does at the trade deadline is they look at past precedent for same service time, age, what was other past cost of acquisition. So let's look at the Twins prospect list. So if the basis of Sonny Gray was the 7th best prospect, and not every prospect ranking each year is obviously the same.
Yeah.
But let's look at what the Twins prospects are from, like, let's call it 6 to 10 at this point. Okay, let's call it 6 to 10. So right now, 6 to 10 prospect rankings for the Twins. Number 6 is Connor Prelip, a left-handed pitcher who I believe is their 3rd best pitching prospect as of right now.
Got hurt. Yep.
Then Tanner Schobel, who's a second base, shortstop, middle infielder. David Festa's on this list, who I saw pitch at St. Paul. He was in Double-A to start the year. Big guy. He's honestly looks a lot like Glasnow. He's 6'6", $185. You can probably get by giving them your 6th to 10th prospect, most likely here. Because they're just not going to pay him. They're not going to pay Glasnow. They want to clear that salary. Now, I'm not saying they have to sell completely pennies on the dollar, but if I'm the Twins, this is not a mortgage the farm, give up Brooks Lee, give up Walker Jenkins. I could see the Rays coming back and maybe saying, hey, you know what? That Trevor Larnach guy that was a former first-round pick, he's log-jammed. Throw him in. I can see that being a situation. But I don't think getting Glasnow is a situation where you have to mortgage one of your best assets. I actually think it's pretty obtainable to get him.
What's the like? Here's the problem. I think is what would the Dodgers, who have been tied to Glasnow already, going to be from their farm system willing to offer? So I get your point, Dex. I guess my concern in the bidding war would be if somebody says, "Hold on a second, we'll give you our, I don't know, 4th best prospect, and he's damn good." Because that would be my concern would be, because the 1 year cost controlled. So like you don't have to pay him if you don't want.
It's a rental. It's a
Rental,
Morris,
and it's
man.
expensive.
It's
expensive,
Morris. Yeah.
but I think it's going to be worth it. I think there will be quite a bit of competition, and that's where the Rays are going to have an advantage in picking the package that they want.
Also, like I don't have any interest in paying Tyler Glasnow long term, because to this point he sort of lived up to the first part of his last name, like Glass. He has not. I mean, like, listen, I'm not trying to take shots, but the guy has pitched. Last year he had a career major league high of 120 innings. His first year in the major leagues was 2016. So he's had surgeries. He's had, even when he's healthy, like he's had spouts where he's not going to pitch more than 5 or 6 innings in a game. Like he's not a horse for you. Like some of the other names that are out, like Aaron Nola could be a horse for you. He's not as good as Glasnow, but he might give you 200 innings, right? He's a free agent. You can't trade for him. I am really interested in Glasnow despite those things, because if it's a 1-year flyer and he's going to make 25 starts for me and I can manage it, I might even build in like a little phantom trip to the injured reserve list for a little bit in the middle of the season, right? Like, I'm in on this. The question from Declan's perspective, I agree that you're probably not giving up Walker Jenkins or Brooks Lee, nor should you, for 1 year of right. a questionably healthy starting pitcher. The bidding war comes in when the Dodgers, if there's 5 other teams that are like, well, we would trade you prospect for this guy. So you might have to just outbid in terms of prospect capital. But I would say to them, whether it's the guys that are no longer prospects, like a Wallner who's been up in the major leagues, or a Larnach, pick one of these guys if you want. They're under team control for a while. We can find left-handed corner bats, and then pick one of our top 10 prospects if you want a pitcher. But not Walker Jenkins, not Brooks Lee, and I might take another name or 2 out that list. Like, I would have this conversation, absolutely.
Do you know who might be a really good Ray? Alex Kirilloff.
Ooh. You'd be giving up multiple years of team control on it. You'd be selling really low on him and Larnach. Like, you'd be selling low on both those guys. But I could see them being highly interested in Alex Kirilloff if the medical's checked out.
Yes, he strikes me as a Ray.
Would you trade Alex Kirilloff straight up for Tyler Glasnow if they said that's the best player we can get when he's healthy? He's going to be a badass hitter for us.
I would.
And something else, like you'd have to throw in something else too.
I think
I would.
Yes. Yes, because my expectation is that this team is set to pop, and if Kirilloff is at 100% and playing his absolute best, I think he's a really good player. But that being said, if you are set to, like, if you think that you have a chance to make a World Series in 2024, this is the type of move that you make.
Yeah, there's also other trades you could probably make. I could see them going in with option 3, which is, all right, we think Joe Ryan can step up for now and be a number 2 starter, and we believe that Chris Paddock is going to be durable enough. Like, I could see them going in and doing that whole thing. And then, June comes around and July comes around. The problem is, do you put yourself in a hole by not having that guy to start the season who's an actual number 2 starter?
Right.
There's trades to be made. The free agent signing thing, because they have Carlos Correa under contract, they're still paying Buxton $15 million a year and trying to figure that whole thing out. I don't know that I see them going to like Aaron Nola and saying, all right, we'll give you a 5-year deal for $25 million a year. That seems more like a Yankees type of a move.
Yes.
But I could see them in category 4 here, the free agency category. And you guys might hate this.
I'm going to absolutely hate what you're going to say.
I could see them saying Lucas Giolito was a badass like 2 years ago. Hey.
Maya.
He disagrees.
She hates this idea.
she
She's
dis-
right.
yeah.
She said, Gia bleeping Lido? Are you serious?
She's all mad. She's all.
Look at, you know
she's all
why? She
hyped
wants
up.
it because she wants her Nutrisource, dude.
She does. But couldn't you see that? Like, hey, this guy was getting Cy Young votes for 3
Yes.
straight years, and
I could see that, and I hate it. Dex?
Jack Flaherty too, man.
It
Jack
just,
Flaherty.
I think it screams classic Twins of a guy who was really good 3 years ago, and we're
Yeah.
trying to get him and
We've been through
make him
this.
the pitcher he was before.
Yes.
If he's your number 5 starter, like I guess I'm not opposed. Like I'm not opposed, but I would rather seek other options before Lucas Giolito.
Yeah, I would too. I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Yeah.
It
So-
would be a very Twins-like move to do something like that.
So I think there's 2 ways to see your 4th category title dive into the free agency waters. The first is, and I don't disagree with this administration for the Twins has shied away from signing free agent pitchers who are going to get paid on multi-year contracts. They have shied away from that. But what they haven't, and where Declan, I'm just, and this is why the Giolito thing turns my stomach, is they have gone to that bargain bin and been like, this guy was really good at one time, so perhaps we can. So that's where Glasnow to me is sort of a meeting point, and Falvey has shown a willingness to make trades for pitchers, and he's shown a willingness to give up a pretty damn good return. So I think I like it. I like the Glasnow path the most, and I actually think it sort of fits in to with what the Twins have done. The Snell or Nola thing, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we have seen Falvey do that since he got here.
Yep. And just one more thing on the Giolito front. Again, it wouldn't be my first option, but I think there's a difference between Giolito and let's say Chris Archer, because Chris Archer fell into that category where this guy used to be good. But there was like a 5 or 6 year gap between the last time Chris Archer was into his 30s at that point, right? Wasn't he like 33 or 34 when the Twins? He was definitely in his 30s. Maybe I'm over exaggerating that, and Dylan Bundy was more like he was okay during the pandemic shortened season or the season after that, whenever the timing was, and he was always a prospect that maybe never lived up to his potential. We can get it. With Giolito, I wonder how much the White Sox kind of broke him. That was and still remains an incompetently run organization that's behind the times. How many, the last 5 years should have been really a renaissance for the White Sox, and they've had so much young talent coming in. They've had money to spend, and they've just botched it at almost every turn. So, I'm not saying he would be my number one option, but I do think if the Twins said, hey, we're going to go take a flyer, and he's going to want a 1 year, maybe a 1 year second year option contract to reclaim what he used to be. Like this dude at one point, he was literally getting top 10 Cy Young votes for 3 straight years, all-star, top of the league in strikeout rate as a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, and he's not even 30 years old yet. So I would put that in it. If the Twins decided, hey, we can make something out of this dude, we elevated Pablo, we elevated Sonny Gray, I would actually put Giolito in a little bit of a different category than like Chris Archer, just to put that out there.
Am I dismissing Gray too quickly?
No, he should. Well, I would say Glasnow. If you could get Glasnow for something other than like one of your top most prized possessions, he would be awesome. I worry a little bit about Sonny Gray. Would you be buying high on an unrepeatable season for him? Is it 34, 35 years old,
And if you were to get Glasnow, do you lock him up to an extension or do you let it ride? And if he's healthy, then he's completely out of your price range. Because he's only under contract for that $24 million, and he's a free agent this time next year.
Yeah.
That's also a bet if they have to make.
Like if he this is the thing about Glasnow. Let's say you made that trade and you went to him and said, okay, so we'd love to make this like a 4-year commitment. Obviously, you're not going to want to pay him at the top of the market because he's not healthy, and you can kind of use all those things in a negotiation against him. But if you're Glasnow and the agency, wouldn't you want to kind of bet on yourself? For like, I'm going to make 25 million regardless this year.
Yes.
Which is more than the qualifying offer for like, some of these other guys. It's a
It'd be
good
a-
amount of money.
It'd be a year.
And then he hit free
I think you're
agency.
right. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah. In fact, if he accepted a lowball contract, I'd have some worries.
Yes. Well, yes. And part of the problem too is, with all due respect, the Twins medical staff, when it comes to pitchers, don't exactly make me feel warm fuzzies about sometimes their diagnosis or lack thereof.
Warm fuzzies.
They make me nervous.
Yeah, the Twins medical staff has had a lot of different iterations of things that you don't really feel warm fuzzies about, I guess.
Yeah,
some of it also is just pitchers pitchers are throwing harder than they've ever thrown. They're throwing more breaking stuff at higher velocities, and their arms are going to break,
And where this conversation is intriguing as well is this. I mean, I do feel like the Twins should be very serious about 2024 and the possibility to improve yourself and for success. And as we've discussed a bunch too, the reality is this, that we don't know what they're going to get from a TV revenue standpoint, which is a huge part of how teams pay their payroll. And so, like, how do you find a way to improve yourself without that certainty, which to me eliminates free agency almost entirely?
Right, but that's the thing where Glasnow comes in, for instance, and says, okay, that's not free agency, but it's a $25 million chunk, at least for 1 year, that you would have to account for.
Yep.
So right now, without Sonny Gray as part of the equation, and then factoring in some of the estimations on Spotrac for like the arbitration guys, and including the team options for Kepler and Polanco, they're sitting at like $111 million, which is about $40 million less than their opening day payroll last year. I would be shocked if they went up anywhere near that without a TV contract in place that guaranteed them certain revenues. If they were to bring in a free agent starter, anyone on this list for the most part, or Tyler Glasnow on a trade, I think it would mean trying to dump one of or maybe both Kepler and Polanco. I think you exercise the options and then look to move the $10 million for a prospect or for something that's lesser.
I'm comfortable with that. I'm entirely comfortable with that. The thing with Glasnow, though, that would be from an accounting standpoint nice is it's a 1 year, $25 million cost. If you bid on Blake Snell, and I mean, just for the sake of this conversation, let's say you sign him to like a 5 year, contract. That's a lot to tie up when there is uncertainty about exactly when you are going to recoup or start to probably make as much as you did from the Bally's agreement.
Yep. No, I think that's fair. So I don't know. We all kind of like the Glasnow idea, depending on what the bidding war looks like. I think it sounds like we're all, to varying degrees, interested in Sonny Gray coming back. I'm a little nervous about buying high and the age and stuff.
And I think the thing with Gray is I'm not positive he wants to come back, but let's say he does. I am positive you are not going to get a better deal than like if the Cardinals are bidding on Gray, I don't think there's any way that he's going to say to the Twins, yeah, you know what? I loved it here. I'll give you a slight break.
He's going to probably take,
which he absolutely should.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Glasnow thing is a very fair middle ground here, because the free agency thing, I think, is a non-starter. But if you come into spring training and say, you know what, Chris Paddock, we're going to count on you after 2 TJs to be our guy. And look, as a 3, be great. That's fantastic. I feel like
Joe Ryan's above Paddock, like he has to be.
Feels like they're really high on Paddock, and that's fine, but I just don't think there's enough there yet.
If Paddock's like your 4 or your 5, awesome. If Paddock's your 2, that's really hopeful. And sometimes the Twins have relied on hoping for the best case scenario rather than planning for reality.
Agree.
So let us know in the YouTube comments section or hit us up on Twitter/X. What do you think, Twins fans? Which one of these categories, which one of these players that we've talked about would you be most interested in being the number 2 starter for this baseball team? A shout out to our friends at Ugly Deck, Judd Zulgad. Let's before the snow comes, let's fix those decks for next patio season.
Well, how about this? How about allow the snow to come and then next spring have a great new deck? Because right now, as you can see, people partying there because that deck, it's so great. Uglydeck.com is offering a Reserve My Deck package now special for people that want to build a deck in the spring. And here's the most important thing, and here's why they're celebrating and save huge bucks. This is only for a limited amount of customers who reserve their deck package now. Uglydeck.com offering up to $1,000 off a full deck package plus locked in pricing for 2023. Uglydeck.com will deliver your deck package to your driveway by May 1st of next spring. And you are going to save as much as $10,000. That's right, 10 grand on your deck bill. Talk about a good deal. Remember, with Ugly Deck, you get free plans, a free coach, like a position coach, access to their online deck build academy, and they will install your footings and ledger. You do the rest, you save. So go today to uglydeck.com, click on Reserve My Deck package now, and come next spring, you are going to save huge money and have an awesome new deck.
Gentlemen, it is time for the random twin of the week. And let's shout out our friends too at Livia, helping present our new favorite game show. We love the Immaculate Grid too, so it's kind of like on one of these episodes, we're just gonna do the random twin of the week. But if you want to lose some weight before free agency to make yourself look good for the highest bidders, where should you go, Judd?
You should most definitely go to and consult with my friends Livia Weight Control Centers, who a couple of years ago helped Sports Dad go from the guy on the left to the guy on the right. And here's the best part: the guys are going to help you keep that weight off. Livia works. We have countless stories that I've seen, that Phil's seen, that Declan has seen from listeners and viewers who have gone on this program and have come back and said, man, this program is fantastic. So if you're thinking about dropping the weight, quit procrastinating and go to livia.com, livea.com, or call them 855-GO-LIVEA. And they have a deal right now, 3 months for free. 3 months for free. Imagine all the weight that you can drop in that time. Livia.com is where you start.
Judd went Elmer Fudd there for a second. The
procrastinating. My tongue got tied. Procrastinating.
That's a tough one. Say procrastinating 10 times in a row.
I can't say it fast, but I ordinarily procrastinating. I ordinarily don't miss my tongue. Literally, I could feel it folding up. But you're right. It was Elmer Fudd. I couldn't decide because I wasn't completely mispronouncing it. So much as going Elmer Fudd. Which, by the way, shout out, Elmer Fudd's awesome.
He's a great character. Elmer Judd. We have a new character here on the
You could completely wabbit.
Wascaway Wabbits. All right, time for the random twin of the week here, where Declan gives out the clues today. So it's losers out. Whoever loses between Judd and myself will give out the clues next week. I'm on a 2-game winning streak with Butch Husky and Ryan Presley. Before that, it was Judd guessing Gary Gaetti correctly and Declan guessing Henry Blanco correctly.
G-man.
All time, since we started doing the random twin of the week a few months back, I have 8 correct. Declan has 4. Judd with 2. So Judd has the most historical knowledge of the twins. So I expect that 2 to probably increase.
It depends on when, but I feel like from the year 2000 on that both of you hold an advantage.
I have no idea.
You watched the
Butch
twins.
Husky was.
I did, but I don't. But so in 2000, I turned 30. And so I don't you guys were impressionable. It's like me with the 80s and maybe early 90s. It makes a big difference when you're impressionable. The Vikings I know because I covered them. But twins I didn't really cover.
For me, my twins, I remember the 91 World Series a little bit, but I really became a huge baseball fan throughout the 90s. So Butch Husky was right. I was 13 years old. The Mets had Butch Husky and Bernard Gilkey. And then they had Alex Ochoa for a while, if I'm not mistaken, and he became a twin.
You're singing my tune from my rotisserie baseball days.
Man. So, all right, Declan's got some clues for us here. We get up to 3 strikes. If we hit the 3rd strike, you're out, and the other person wins automatically. Shout out the guesses when you think you know. No cheating.
All right. This random twin of the week played in 1,200 minor league games.
Holy.
By the way, brother Liam, shout out. He gave me this random twin of the week last week. We were sitting on the couch watching playoff ball, and he goes, "Do you remember so-and-so. And I was like, who? He was like, you so-and-so. And blah, blah, blah. And then he started giving me all these facts. Like, this is a perfect random twin.
So he threw out a player that you hadn't really heard of?
I had forgotten about.
Okay. Because that's kind of a clue in itself.
That is also a clue. Yeah, I had forgotten about. This random twin of the week signed as a 16-year-old for an estimated $1.3 million. And that happened in the 90s. A lot of dough for a 16-year-old.
Random twin, but he didn't sign with the Twins.
Or did he?
I don't think in the 90s the Twins were
cheap ass Polads.
We're doling out 1.3 million.
Carl Polad with their Polads. Cheap ass Polad.
Twins were drawing like 750,000 probably for attendance at the Metrodome back then.
This random twin of the week. I'm sounding like Elmer Fudd. Random twin of the week.
Random twin of the week.
Once we start, you can't stop.
Mike Tyson. He won a silver medal at the 2004 Summer Olympics. That's actually true, though. He did win a silver medal in the 2004 Summer Olympics.
Ooh.
And how much you love your Olympics history, Judd. So
hey,
I think you should be able to name who.
How about
won the
flag
gold, silver, and
football
bronze.
coming to the Olympics?
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, it's just on now. The Olympics just have it's just unbelievable. Okay.
Let's see here. This random twin of the week in the minor leagues hit 126 home runs.
Todd Sears.
Todd Sears. That's an official guess.
Yep. Okay.
He was a Scott Boras client, according to his baseball reference page. It says agent is Boras Corporation.
Nice, you got him that big deal.
Hold on a second here. So, okay, so he's not really. All right, we should do some math there.
But 126 home runs.
This random twin of the week.
Nope, not that guy.
Is 46 years old. And this random twin of the week is still involved in baseball.
It's in his blood. I can tell.
It is in his blood, actually.
You play 1,200 minor league games, it's in your blood. Right in the blood.
Make sure
Bleeds
I have
baseball.
this right here before I give you this actual clue.
126 home runs, though. That's what we were talking about.
This random twin of the week played one position at the major league level.
There's still a lot. I feel like there's a lot of possibilities here. These clues are very interesting.
Yep. I feel like I have guesses, and then I'm eliminating them because of.
Feel like you're way off. Feel like you're way off right now. Not gonna lie.
This random twin
trying to get
of
in my
the
head.
week
I'm not listening to trash talk. Don't you trash talk me. Sorry, Declan. My bad.
was born overseas. Was not born in the United States, North America.
Just to be clear, when you say, because I had deduced already that he was not American born with one of your previous clues.
Sure.
When you say he's born overseas, are you saying like toward Europe? Or because you could be over like part of the sea and go to the Dominican, you know what I'm saying?
Not
like
Dominican. Nope, nothing with the North, not with North America. No.
not
All
North
right.
America,
Not North
or
America.
South America.
I'm going to take a guess. Glenn Williams.
Holy crap.
Wow, dude.
Glenn
Australia.
Williams.
Wow.
I was nervous about the overseas. All right,
Australia.
this is an amazing random twin of the week, and I'm a little upset Judd
Nice job,
sniped it
Judd.
so early because Glenn Williams had a hit in every single game in his major league career.
What?
13
third base.
games.
I remember him playing third base.
400.
Yeah.
He had a horrible shoulder injury, and it like derailed things. He didn't debut with the Twins until he was 27 years old. After 12 years in the minor leagues, he now runs, I think, Baseball Australia. He's like the CEO of Baseball.
Him and Luke Hughes just
Australia.
running the
Hey,
Australian
mate.
professional
Hey, mate,
league.
how about that, Royce?
Yeah,
I still
he's
hate
the-
him.
Wearing cut off jorts.
He is the CEO of Baseball Australia, his current position.
That's pretty cool. Wow, Judd is on the board here for the third time. His third victory.
Crazy.
That's a great one. Because I was thinking, when you said signed as a 16-year-old, American-born players cannot sign until they're drafted, and that has to be like age 18.
Correct.
So that clue. Where's Todd Sears from? He's United States born?
Yeah.
That's why I thought you were off the scent. I was like, Judd's thinking about American, like Team USA players, but Australian players.
Glenn Williams, man.
So, well, that's a great one. All right, I've got the clues for you guys next week, so be on the lookout. I might throw a curveball.
Little Zoilo.
Yeah.
Give me
Hey,
Zoilo next week.
A shout out to, we did this on Royce Unchained, but this is the Score North Twin Show here. Terry Ryan turning 70 years old today, former Twins general manager. We were swapping texts this morning, and I said, hey, who's winning the World Series? And he thinks the calming demeanor of Bruce Bochy is going to be the difference in that series.
Hall of Fame manager, easy, right?
Oh,
this guy's incredible.
God, yes.
Even before
Man,
this
he's been
series,
great.
Hall of Famer
100%.
regardless, and now he's going to maybe get another one here with Texas.
Is Dusty?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's stepping down, so he's going to be in.
He's in.
Like he's
What's
like
funny-
top 10 wins all time as a manager, isn't he? Let's look that up real quick.
What's funny about that is, and I'm not positive that your plaque, if you go in as a manager, has a cap. But what's funny about that is, despite the fact he won a World Series with Houston, Dusty and Bochy also should go in as Giants.
Yeah.
Because both of them made their bones with the Giants.
So Dusty, 7th all time on the regular season wins list, behind Sparky Anderson, Joe Torre, Bobby Cox, John McGraw, Tony La Russa, and Connie Mack. And then where's Boch? The Boch.
Boch is to be up there. I mean, he's been doing this forever. He was a player when I was a kid.
Oh, Bochy is right. He's 10th.
Okay.
And he's got the 3 World Series. I think those are all with the Giants, right? He got all 3 of those. And then he's won 5 pennants as well. So
Bochy went from,
those are top 10 managers of all time.
Bochy went from San Diego to San Francisco, won the 3 World Series, and now Texas.
Yep.
And actually, Bob Melvin just left the Padres to take the Giants job. Same thing Bochy did years and years ago.
Yep. Jimmy Leland is in the top 20 here. Lou Piniella. So
give me
Gene
those
Mauch.
heaters, man.
Gene Mauch is 15th all time. Former.
Give me
Twins
those
manager.
heaters. Jimmy Leland, man. Nobody sucked him down. Still alive and well, too.
Dude, he'd be ripping him in the visitors' clubhouse when they would visit the Twins. Just like, sir, you're not supposed to smoke. F you.
The clip.
Empty Chinese food boxes and cigarettes. He's in his pajamas.
The clip with him at spring training and Barry Bonds in the Pirates days going at it is if you want to, if it's, kids, cover your ears, but for adults, it's a great clip.
That's hilarious. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with us. The Score North Twin Show. We're going to be speculating, sometimes recklessly, the entire off season. See you guys.